If you're a fan and tired of waiting for Mario Kart 9, then you've come to the right place, because we've got just a fix for your racing heart. Disney's Speedstorm, the two biggest animation studios ever, Disney and Pixar, threw their combined hat into the ring with this one. Best part? It's totally free to download. Wondering what to expect from the newest kart racing game on the block? We've got you covered. But first, let's take a quick look back at Nintendo's first Direct of the year. Why are we doing that? Easy. That's when they announced Disney's very own kart racing game. For those of you who missed out on the event, let us tell you it was absolutely packed with announcements. And we're talking about really heavy hitters like Splatoon and Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but there were also plenty of smaller reveals in there too. That's not to say they were any less impressive. One particular kart racer really caught fans' interest, and surprising as it might sound, it wasn't Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's new DLC tracks. It was Disney Speedstorm. No one saw that coming. If you happen to be a Nintendo, Disney, and Pixar fan all in one, then this is the game you never knew you wanted. Not only will it feature some pretty iconic faces from some of your favorite animated films, but tracks will also be based on some familiar properties and landmarks that we bet you'll recognize in a heartbeat. We wouldn't be surprised if this one becomes your go-to game for the family nights after it comes out sometime later this year. Sure, it's Disney, but we wouldn't blame you for having some doubts when it comes to Speedstorm. They aren't exactly seasoned when it comes to gaming, at least not like their competitors in the gaming world anyway. But don't sell it short just yet. Now let's start with the quality. You can expect a solid kart race game. Those of you who watched the Direct would know that the game's being developed by Gameloft. It's a big name and all, but here's the thing. They're mostly known for their work on mobile titles. So you can imagine why fans might have been a little bit hesitant to give Speedstorm any real attention, but it kinda looks like they saw it coming from a mile away. As soon as they announced the game was going to be free to play, it shot to being one of the games to keep an eye on. You gotta admit, that's a pretty clever move to reel players in. However, a clever marketing tactic isn't the reason behind the hype. Okay, maybe it is, but only partly. The rest is all because fans are expecting a genuinely good game. Yes, even though Gameloft's behind it. Turns out, its previous work on the Asphalt series was really impressive. FYI, it was also available on Switch, and that seems to be good enough to convince fans of Speedstorm's quality. Sure, these games are a little bare bone, but the visuals and the gameplay are pretty solid, especially for a free-to-play title. If you ask us, Switch owners are probably going to give Disney's racing game a chance if they don't have to drop some cash for it. Now, whether the game can keep those players interested after the whole free game appeal has worn off is a question for another video. Next up, there'll be a huge cast full of iconic and upgradable characters. What makes this game different from any other racing game before? The Disney and Pixar brand. You've probably played your fair share of race games, but you haven't raced with icons like Monsters Inc., Sully, Mulan, or Jack Sparrow. Sorry, it's Captain Jack Sparrow. Anywho, with the race as iconic as that, we can bet most fans will check it out. And who knows, it may even keep them around in the long run. There's nothing like racing with your favorite characters. Sorta adds a personal touch to the whole gaming experience. Speedstorm didn't just put in all those iconic characters and call it a day. Anyone who's ever gamed before knows it's no fun without upgrades. And Disney's not skimping out on those. When they announced the new game, they also revealed that players would be able to upgrade their racers with time. You know, change their look, give them unique skills on track, the whole thing. Now, this might actually keep players hooked to the game for longer. We all know if there's anything that keeps gamers going, it's a strong source of progression, so they're not just relying on the magic of Disney to make it work. Moving on, the characters aren't the only thing that'll be iconic and instantly recognizable in the game. If there's one thing we're sure of, it's that Speedstorm will go all out using the Disney brand, and we're not just talking about the characters. The game's going to feature a wide range of racetracks, and goes without saying that they'll be inspired by properties all across the Disneyverse. If you take a closer look at the trailer, you'll get an idea of what the tracks are going to look like. In fact, there's this one part in there where you can actually spot a Jungle Book themed track. There was another franchise hidden in the trailer. You'll have to be a little eagle-eyed to spot this one. We actually got a look at the Pirates of the Caribbean map that saw players zoom past battling ships. Now, we don't know about you, but our inner fanboys totally psyched. And finally, there's the promise of more. Like all the best free-to-play games, Speedstorm will also be releasing a consistent stream of updates as soon as the game hits the market. What are those updates going to look like? Well, you can expect to see new Disney and Pixar characters pop up with every update, so you'll have a whole new variety of racers on your hands. Of course, the same goes for the tracks. The game will add its themed racetracks as well. Now, the big question is, will it be enough to make the game a success? It might be too early to say, but if fans do resonate with it as planned, it could have a very long life. Heck, with everything it's got going on, like the cosplay abilities, constant updates, and free-to-play model, Speedstorm might might even rival Mario Kart 8's extensive 5-year lifespan. We might be overstretching, but you never know with Disney. They've got a pretty loyal fan base. The game will be available on Nintendo Switch, PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox One, so plenty of platforms to get the Disney racing experience. And now onto some other related news. First up, Dreamlight Valley. So Speedstorm isn't the only animated game fans should look out for. Have you ever wondered what it would look like if Animal Crossing, Disney, Pixar, and Sims combined into one game? Look no further, because they just answered that for you with Disney Dreamlight Valley. If Speedstorm didn't bring out the fan in you, you can bet this will. The game lets you explore the Dreamlight Valley, which is basically like this big crossover with all your favorite animated worlds. The catch is that you or your avatar will have to complete quests to restore the village back to its natural state. What's there to restore? Everyone's memory. Something called the forgetting happened and every character lost their memory. Sounds very Marvel-ish, don't you think? Now let's take a look at which characters are going to be a part of this immersive experience. Before we throw a few names at you, we thought you should know that every character in the game will be voiced by their original actors. And if that's not possible, then they'll bring in approved replacements. Safe to say, Disney does not kid around, so you can expect to see some of the OGs like Mickey Mouse himself, along with Minnie and Goofy. Of course, those are staples of the universe, but they're not only vintage characters coming back to life in Dreamlight Valley. You'll also see Cinderella, Ariel, and Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid, Simba and his gang from The Lion King, and even Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales. We almost forgot about that one. It's going to be a pretty good trip down memory lane. Of course, they'll also bring in the more recent stars to the game, like our favorite little robot, Wall-E, and the only mouse we'll ever accept as chief, Remy from Ratatouille. You'll spot modern-day princesses, Elsa, Anna, and Moana in there as well. The character list is pretty extensive and super promising at the same time. And finally, for the question everyone's been waiting for, will it be free? From what we've found so far, it looks like this Disney adventure will be totally free to play. Does it get any better than this? Of course, there might be some money involved with the in-game purchases, like costumes or different skins. Developers have to eat too, after all, but they've also said it's all about gameplay and no monetization, so we'll have to wait to know for sure how it's going to work out. And that about wraps up our video for today. Are you excited for Disney's Speedstorm? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.